Hi everybody, here we are in sunny Victoria, which is the southeast of Australia, down the bottom. And whether you're in Australia, in the US, in the UK, or wherever you might be, I thought today that I would do a video, it won't be a very long one, just on the good, the bad, and the ugly of my art adventure, shall we say. So when I say the good, the bad, and the ugly, I want to show you how my art has taken changes over the years. I've decided to dabble in alcohol ink, I've dabbled in fluid art, I've dabbled in abstract, which I still love. But when I say dabbled, I've really dabbled. And if I show you around my studio here, you'll see what I mean. I'll just quickly turn the camera around and you'll understand. Okay, so over there we have some art, we have fabric, we have pencils in the foreground, we have my contraption that I use with the rainbow coloured ball on the top. That's for making cups and mugs and things, patterned or whatever you want to do. There's even a little pot plant over there, a pot which I've got some pens in that I designed that pot. If I take you further around here, you'll see I have my stash of alcohol inks over there, and I've got, I don't know, maybe 100 colours, whatever. And you can see a mug that I've painted, and another mug there. So I've pretty much, dabbled in everything. Over here in my studio, my silhouette machine, so I can do lots of different prints with vinyl, which you can adhere to all manner of things, whether it be heat. So you can create clothing with, text or pictures or what have you. I've got my over here. And the reason I'm showing you all of this is because what I want to say is you need to be you. It's taken me years to find my niche. And whilst it might be terrific to do classes and all this that's being offered at the moment on either YouTube or you pay for classes in arts and crafts and whatever, it's fabulous to do that and to gain that knowledge and experience, but you don't want to be a clone of somebody else. You don't want to learn how to paint from so-and-so just so that you can recreate so-and-so's style. It's a terrific place to start if you're a beginner, but don't get too hung up on doing their designs and their styles. You want to be you and uniquely you. Let me just show you a few pieces that I've done in the past, some of which may have been inspired by others, many of which haven't, but I'll let you be the judge. So, yes, there's my dog. Well, it's actually my son and daughter-in-law's dog, Tink. Say hello, Tink. Yep. We live on a farm on 40 acres, so I'm often inspired by nature. I'll just give you a quick browse around here. I've got a garden with most magnificent colours and what have you, so they all inspire me. Absolutely. And as I said, I don't want to be a clone of somebody else. I want to be my own artist. Oh yes, and here's the mosaic pot that I've made. Yep, had to do mosaics as well. So art is everywhere. It's in my blood, and everything I do is pretty much because of my environment and my love of colours and life in general. Okay, so there's one piece. In this one, I was experimenting with a lot of different textures. Not so much with colours, although I do love the colours, but it was really about the textures. Now, you can't feel them raised, but they certainly look that way. Love that piece. All right, over here we have some street art kind of design. Again, lots of different textures. These you can feel the raised feeling of. But I really experimented with a lot of different swishes and colours and words and all sorts of things. So, as I said, you're going to see the good, bad, and the ugly. Here's a piece. This was done on canvas with acrylic paint. It was then resin, so you can see that. Now, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's not a good resin job, but that's okay. We all learn from these things. Here's a acrylic on canvas with metallic as well. Yes, you can see the metallic in there. And I think from memory that might have been attempting to find cells. Okay. But there's, you know, that's not my style really. Okay, here's another one that I did last year. Now this I love. I've done a few in this style using alcohol ink and then pen overlay. So that's another one. And I really, do like that one. While I'm here, mugs. Remember that little machine I showed you? Memories are precious, so cherish it. So that's been done with alcohol ink, and you can see the gold sparkling in underneath there. And it's also been resined over the top of the print. Over the top of the alcohol ink, and then that print on there. Then I decided I would dabble with doing glassware. So again, alcohol ink, and then resined over the top. Here's another piece of abstract with resin. Now with this one, I have used alcohol ink, and I was also influenced by somebody else's design. So there's resin on that. Okay, that's another piece. And there's an absolute abstract. Now, there you go, there's that one. Influenced by nobody really, but just had a bash at it and did what felt right. So that's more intuitive, going with the flow, which is what I recommend. Okay, here's another one. Again, went with the flow, chose my colours, and I'm quite happy with that one. I quite like it. Not influenced by anybody, just went with it, intuitive. Another piece of what I like to call street art. This one is a lot of different processes. It's got some stenciling. It's got a piece of Chinese written music. Now the focus of this was music. So there's a song here written in Greek. There's just a piece of music here. And here is the lyrics from the song Imagine. And the textures here, more stenciling. But there's lots and lots and lots of different layers to this piece. So lots to look at. And I really like that one as well. And last but not least, in just my little show-offs here, is an alcohol ink and gold embellished piece on canvas board. Oh, it's not the last, I'm sorry, there's one more after that. So, you know, interesting. You can look at it from a variety of different ways. I suppose that looks a bit fish-like. Maybe, I'm not sure, some sort of sea creature, I think. Now, the beauty of this, I like this a lot, and I do love using alcohol ink, but one thing I've decided from everything I've learnt about alcohol ink is that unless you do something different with your alcohol ink, you are again being a clone of everybody else who uses alcohol ink. I've even put some glitter in there. I don't know if that's glittering for you to see. So, yeah, I mean, you know, blowing ink around is fabulous, but try and create something in it that's unique to you. This is a piece I finished a few days ago, and this is where I think I found my niche. Finally, after years of sewing, knitting, crocheting, which I still do, by the way, you know, creating vinyl things and heat pressing on t-shirts and what have you, doing glasses and cups, I think this is my niche. It's where I'm probably happiest. Intuitive abstracts. So they might have a message to them, you know, there's some love hearts in there and I love the colour scheme, but I'm not anybody's clone. This is, I think, my signature. You know, there's gold work on there as well. There's lots of different layers underneath. This is on canvas board. I've used watercolour pencils. I've used, let me have a look, acrylic paints. I've used metallic paint. A little bit of texture work up here. You can feel that if you were here. Some gold embellishment. And again, to say is be you. Don't be a clone of somebody else. Don't be somebody that the art agents or those in the know will look at your work and go, yeah, she's been taught or he's been taught by so-and-so. To me, that's a real compliment to the so-and-so, but not so much to the painter that's presenting the work. Why? Because they're saying, great work, but you know and they know it's not your work. You've just created something somebody else did. So I hope you can take something away from this and understand that if you're, perhaps not been around as long as I have, and you're still in the process of finding you in your art world, that's okay. Be you, do the courses, but just don't be their clone. In my first video that you'll find on YouTube, you'll see that we did a painting with watercolor, and it was a case of, let's go with this and just see what happens. It'll either be fabulous or it'll be an absolute disaster. And that's how I pretty much look at everything I do in my art these days. If it's fabulous, hallelujah. If it's not, meh, doesn't matter. If it's on canvas, I can cover it, put some gesso over it and start again. If it's on paper, doesn't matter. Just turn over another leaf. So if you like what I've got to say, please give it a thumbs up. I'm not going to say subscribe to my channel, although that would be really nice, because in all honesty, I have no idea what else I'm going to be presenting, whether in fact I do present anything else. It might be a case of, this is all I've got to say. Lindy, get off the airwaves. It's not worth listening to you. So obviously I'll never get any subscribers, but I'd be pretty chuffed if I did. If you've got any questions, feel free to shoot them through. I'll do my very best to answer you. I'm certainly no master in art. I have no degrees in art, just lots of experience. So until next time, I've had fun and I hope you do too. Catch you next time. Bye.